Hi guys, it is, let's see, July the 7th, and I have a helper here today. This is Kayla, my 10-year-old daughter.
Hi.
Come close so they can see you. Ooh. Ah, that's Kayla. She's gonna be helping. Today is round 1P3, day 15, and I am 1.4 over my LDW. So I came down 0.2 yesterday. So doing okay there. I'd like to get a little bit lower maybe this weekend. By Monday, I'd hope for today, but that didn't happen. So I'm gonna move along real quick. We're gonna do a cooking vlog today. We're going to make chicken stock. And so we've got a bunch of stuff prepared. I'm gonna move the camera so you guys can see everything. So there's our veggies, our spices. And then over here, we have our chicken in the pot. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start out with the chicken. We have 2 5-pound chickens in about a 16-quart pot. And so you take the chickens, you rinse them well, remove the guts. Those of you that have never done this, you stick your hand inside the chicken, pull the guts out, rinse it. Be careful of contamination. You really want, she wants to be in there too. There you go. You really want to make sure you don't cross-contaminate. And so I always prep my chicken in one area, get it in the pot, wash my hands, anything, get all of that put away and in the trash. And then I start prepping everything else. So we've got our chicken in the pot. We're going to add 7 quarts of water. Kayla, do you want to pour the water in? Sure. So she's going to add 7 quarts of water into the pot, carefully pouring it in. It's just cold water from the tap. And then I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup to the pot with the water. Go. And then we're going to add our onions. You take 2 medium-sized onions and you cut them up. You don't even have to take the skin off. You just cut them up into quarters. And then what you'll see there in the center, that is a garlic clove studded in. And so you take your onions, cut them into quarters, and then we're going to use, I had this trouble yesterday, 8 cloves of garlic. So the cloves look like this, and you take the pointy end and you just stick it into the onion, okay? So we're gonna add, what we have here are 2 medium-sized onions with 8 cloves studded. Kayla, go ahead and put those in.
All of them?
Yep. And then we're going to add 2 bay leaves. Those are the bay leaves. And this is what they look like. They're dried. Hot. And then 4 cloves of garlic.
Oh, I had 4. Just a little.
So this is a bulb of garlic. When you pull the bulb apart, you get cloves of garlic. You take the clove and you smash it with your hand. You just smash it on a flat surface. I've got a cutting board here, skin and all, into the pot.
Could it be like a,
That's fine,
around?
you can just put them all around. And then we're going to do 3, go ahead and dump that whole thing in there. 3 teaspoons of salt. You can just slide it in. 3 teaspoons of salt. That's fine. Go ahead and scrape it in. 14 whole black peppercorns. So peppercorns are very small. It's the whole part before you grind it. It's round. You take 14 of these and put them in the pot. And then next we have our celery seed. I sure wish you could see It's focusing on my face. There we go, celery seed. We're gonna do 2 large pinches of celery seed, which comes out to about a half a teaspoon of celery seed per pinch. So 2 large pinches of celery seed. 1 large pinch, I guess if I put it by my face, it'll focus.
Focusing on mine.
Yeah, it's focusing on yours. Kayla, get out of the picture. Okay, rosemary. 1 large pinch. 1 large pinch of thyme. 1 large pinch of basil. 1 large pinch of sage. 1 large pinch of summer savory. Okay, so Kayla dumped all of those spices and herbs dried into the pot. And again, 1 large pinch is about, it's not either right or wrong. It's just, I just kind of dump them into my hand and put them in the pot. If you don't have one of them, then skip it. If you want to use fresh herbs, you can chop up 1 tablespoon for every dried herb that you have. So a tablespoon of fresh as opposed to the pinch or so of the dried. Now, if you don't want to do any of those things, here is Kayla's, it's focusing on Kayla again. Hello, there we go. This is from Costco, organic, no salt. This is a new camera that's driving me crazy. Organic, no salt seasoning. It's the Kirkland brand from Costco. It's P2 approved from as far as I can see. And sometimes if I am in a pinch, and I'm Hurley, if I am in a pinch and I just have no time, I just put in a handful of this into the water. Okay, so there's our spices. And then next we have celery. So we are going to take celery, leaves and all. We wash it. I pretty much pull from the center in order to get the leaves and all to go in the pot and save the outer ribs for another use. And all I do is once I wash it, I don't even cut it. I just break it and just put it in the pot like that. Kayla, would you like to do that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have 6 ribs of celery with the leaves broken into 2 to 3 pieces per rib. And then we have 4 medium carrots, and it's the same concept. I've scrubbed them, there's no dirt, but I didn't cut either end. If it's dirty or it doesn't look good, or if there's leaves on the other end, then of course you would cut that off. If you want to, you can just break it. If you don't want to break it, then you can cut it on the board with a knife into chunks. So again, about 2 to 3 chunks per carrot. Go ahead and put those in for me, Kayla. And then the last thing we're going to do is a handful of parsley. I wrote down 8 sprigs of fresh parsley. You can use either Italian or just the regular curly parsley. And I do the same exact thing. I just try to make it as easy as I can. I just rip it into pieces and then I dump it into the pot. So let me show you what the pot looks like right now. Here we have the makings of stock. This is a double batch, and what we're going to do is put it on to cook now. So we're going to bring it to a boil by turning it on. And we're going to allow it to come to a full boil, and once it does that, we're going to cover it partially. And we're going to turn it down to a simmer. The simmer is very small bubbles rising from the top. You may have to move it to a smaller burner on your stove. You do not want it bubbling, a full rolling boil. You just want a slight simmer. And we're going to cook it for an hour and a half, partially covered. Okay, that's part 1. We're at 10 minutes, so we're going to have to do part 2. Stay tuned. Ciao.